and silence are my only friends. I'm starting to think I'm amongst the dead. I've lost the concept of reality. My life is like the Twilight Zone on TV. If only Fred Whitaker were here to narrate, then I might be able to better understand my fate. If I can stop the hands of time, I might be able to relocate my mind. I must ask you, is the earth still spinning? I feel nothing being stuck in prison. When my son was 18, he was sentenced to 20 years in the highest level prison in California. He didn't kill anyone. He didn't hurt anyone. He scared someone. He paid a high, high price for carjacking, his first offense. So there he went with his scared young self behind them prison walls, promising his mama to write once a week, to stay strong and stand tall. I was absolutely heartbroken. I was sick. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I had no one to talk to, and there was nothing that I can do for him. So I told him, I said, man, you have got to find a way and take this negative and turn it into a positive, and only you can do that. So the first year of his incarceration, I went to visit him every weekend. It was good for him and it was good for me. We were so happy to see each other. But the visits were hard. They were hard on me. It was hard to see him in there, and it was hard to leave him. The visits started wearing me down, making me feel old, tired, depressed. So I moved back to Canada. But the day I left California, I stopped at that prison to visit my son. He was in solitary confinement. The hole, the shoe, they call it. So there was no contact, no hug, just the glass between us. He picked up his phone and I picked up mine. I said, man, I promise I will come and visit you at least once a year. And anything and everything that you want or you need, you let me know. I left the prison that day, and my heart was so, so heavy. My thoughts were long, deep, dark. I had to figure out a way to help my son. I had to figure out a way to lift his spirits. It was so frustrating because I knew I had to dig deep in my soul to reach his. And that's when I decided to challenge him with poetry. So I wrote a 2-page poem. At the top, I put Battle of the Poets by Adelene, the soul poet. And I ended the poem. I said to that boy, I said, man, I know my blood is in you because I'm your mama, you see. But what I really want to know is if you tough like me. Because if you're tough like me, the poetry will come back. So tell me, my son, is this a myth or a fact? So what you gonna do? We talking soul to soul. The blood runs deep. So show me what you know. P.S. Now come back. I waited and waited for that letter because I had no idea if he was going to respond or not. 2 weeks later, there it was. Battle of the Poets Reply by the phenomenal poet. I had no idea that I had a phenomenal poet. So this is what he said. This is how it is, mama. Walls and silence are my only friends. I'm starting to feel like I'm amongst the dead. I must know, does it still rain? I need some help to wash away this pain. What is a season for a person like me? The only thing that changes around here is what I eat. The only thing I hear is my number. If it wasn't for my mail, spelling my name would be a blunder. I'd rather be on the end of a flat line. I can't imagine nothing worse than doing time. As I walk down the corridor in a state of depression, I realize prison is the only place I've ever been. I had to sit and contemplate that thought, and I came to the conclusion that my identity is lost. Whew. That was our first battle of poetry. And I knew that I was not alone with all the silent parents of prisoners out there. That poem made me feel so bad for my son. I pictured him sitting there all by himself. That poem tore at my heart and my soul, but it opened the door to his, and that was exactly what I needed. I had a comeback for him. I said, "Who are you?" One might ask, are they speaking of present or is it a past? What will you say? What do they know? Should you tell the truth? Do your scars show? Should you go on with the rest of your life striving to find out who's wrong or who's right? Or be content with the knowledge that was very painful to find and live a good life with that peace of mind? When I look in that mirror, I smile when I see that beautiful, beautiful face looking back at me. Wonder who I am, to say the least, because I know I'm the beauty. And my son, you are not the beast. But there are those who wish to seek out your story, where truth are lies, and there's no glory. They have nothing better to do than to say you aren't you. But even your mirror smiles back each day, because you've come a very long way with so much to be proud of and so much going on. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. Who are you? One might ask, but not of your present, nor of your past, but you, the person you've come to be, the beauty within your soul. You see, the things that you do it with style. Who are you? You are my child. That's right. Whoo! I went deep on that boy. I started writing every day after that. All my feelings, all my thoughts, all my emotions, everything was just coming out. And I found that my poetry was coming through me into the world instead of me reaching into the world. I found a new sense and direction with my son. We continued our battles throughout the years, but it never stopped me from worrying about him. And one day, I received this. You worry, but you're not to worry, because I'm a strong man, Mama, you see. Ooh, I'm big as a house. It ain't fat. This is muscle. Mama, nobody messes with me. The guards, the inmates, the old, the young. I ain't here to socialize. I'm going to do my time with my mama in mind. I'm going to do my time with my mama in mind. I'm going to do my time and run. That's right. But while I'm here, I decided to sit back with my own lessons. Mama, I'm taking that knowledge in from each and every direction. I can't help myself. I can't stop either. It's like feeding a hungry brain. Because you know, when I walk up out of here, ain't nothing gonna be the same. But Mama, you keep me sane. This much is very true. You taught me how to be who I am, and I'm so thankful to you. I found that positive in this negative, just like you said. And we gonna be all right, Mama. That was the day that I stopped worrying about my son. We walked his prison time together and held on to the love and the bond that we share as mother and son. It just grew stronger. Battle of the Poets was our savior. It brought back the life and the character into my son. It brought back the ability to see a future and appreciate the moment. It made me realize the power of poetic therapy because it works. My son gets out of prison in 18 months. Months, not years. Yeah. 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 I recently went to see him, and he said to me, he said, Mom, do you know how I survived in this place all these years? It was your poetry, Mama, and my faith. It kept me strong. It kept me focused. And it gave me hope. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew.